so long you don't break the, oh, I broke the whole thing. Hi, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. Today I want to show you how to make a seedling into a nice bonsai, in this case Chinese hackberry. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about Chinese hackberry. It's a timber tree, very useful for building. It grows very vigorously and very disease resistant, and you can grow them from seeds quite easily. So you can go to Arboretum and collect Chinese hackberry seeds and grow them. As an interesting story, when I was a little kid, hackberry has a very interesting characteristic. They have very round seeds with a little coating around it, and so that becomes a kind of could be a tight seal to hold the air. So as a little kid, we'll take a little bamboo stick with the right hole size, because the hackberry size can be very uniform. And so what you do is that you can put hackberry in at the one end of the bamboo, and you push it and it will pop. You need to put two, one in the front, one in the back, and when you push the one in the back, it builds a pressure between the two hackberry, and it will shoot out the one out front, and then you do it again with the other one already loaded up front. So I thought that's an interesting side point. So this is a 2 or 3 year old seedling, 2-year-old I think. And this is in my good pescadero soil. I want to expose the root to show you what the root looks like. Let me shake off a little bit of the roots. You can see the seedling roots grow out radially, and the taproot is feeding us. So this makes a perfect bonsai. Someday you cut off the bottom, the taproot, and this would be very nice rootage radially out around the base of the tree. And you can see I topped it about 6 months ago, and this all shoot out. That becomes a nice, very nice upright tree with only 5 minutes worth of clipping. And so, for example, if I do this, well, that's a nice little bonsai. And I can wire a little bit or anchor a little bit, and there you are. So hackberry can be very quickly turned into a bonsai, a shohin bonsai. And I'll put this back in the pot again to grow. I'll show you maybe 6 months now, from 3 months from now, the progress of this bonsai. Now this one, I planted as a seed about 15 years ago from a seed I collected in Hong Kong from a hackberry tree growing on the side of the hill. That tree is actually, hackberry is actually very prevalent all over China, including Hong Kong. You see, that's how much it grew in 15 years. And notice it grew, it's a tall tree, and I cut it, and I didn't do anything to it, but it kind of heals nicely into a hole. And this one, I also cut it again to force the side branching. You can see this is starting to heal over. Eventually, it will look like that, which looks very natural. And you really don't need to seal some of that. That said, about sealing, there was a controversial comment to me and about not sealing, as some of the bonsaimaster advocates. And I point out that I don't generally seal my tree. That said, I found birch tree, for example, has very, very soft wood. And if you don't seal it, and also birch is very susceptible to insects and diseases. So if you don't seal it tightly, actually, inside will rot. But the rot, I think, will occur anyway. You just slow down the process by sealing it. This tree, for example, I can put it into a bonsai pot and make it look like a shohin. On the other hand, if I'm a little aggressive, I see this is the curve coming up. And I may say, hey, looky here. There's a branch coming on the side, just chop it here. And I plant it this way. Now you have a tree that's coming up this way, this way, this way. And pretty soon you'll have a big trunk like this, but the tree is all turned without wiring. And looks very natural, because that's sort of like a side branch took over, another side branch took over, and so forth. And so that's what I did to this tree. I never wired it, but you can see the curves make it very interesting. And the rootage, this was a huge root, and I cut it, and this looks unsightly. But on the other hand, the top is dead, the bottom is alive. So If I choose one of the side roots underneath and carve the front, then it will be like bottom grow, and the top would be dead. I think they call it shari. That will make it look very interesting. So there's a lot of possibility as you work on a tree. Don't be too anxious. If it doesn't look right, do a drastic cutting, let it grow again until you get it right to the form that you desire. With that in mind, then I will clip this tree and show you an update every 6 months or so. You will see this tree will fill up very, very quickly. That is one advantage of hackberry. Hackberry is not a very popular tree for bonsai in the U.S., but you can see it's a beautiful grayish trunk. And it's actually very, very popular in Taiwan, especially to make into bonsai. You can see hackberry ramifies very, very quickly. Pretty soon you have branches that's full of side branches. It will be just beautiful full tree. And I will be taking good care of this tree. And I think in 3 years or so, it will be very, very full with a lot of branching. So with that in mind, then let me quit talking and start cutting to make that a bonsai. So this is all alive. So I'll leave this for the apex, and the rest of it I cut off. And so this is a rough cut. And one other thing you can do is you can actually bend it, twist it a little bit while you're bending it to get it to the direction you want without having to wire it. And when I cut off these branches, they are likely to send out side shoots to give you more design opportunities. I save all these branches because I don't know which bud is still alive, and so that will give me some options later on. So that's that side. It's more or less a double trunk, but it will grow taller to rhyme with the other side. It's a very, very good building material, very resilient, very good physical properties for construction. So that's it. I don't think there's much to do. I would like it to grow faster to give me more design opportunity. So let me work on the front. Like this branch is coming up, I really like it to be down. So what you can do is you bend the tree, you break it a little bit, it's okay. So long you don't break I broke the whole thing. But this will shoot out on the side, but I don't have one going up. This is going to be the apex, and this is fairly thick, and this is thinner, but that's okay. But this is way too thin. So I'm going to leave this branch as a sacrificial branch, let this grow tall, and probably use this as the apex to give me on the other side, to give me this height with the branches that are reasonably thick to match the bottom in a sense of the continuation. So this is a little interesting branch. You can see it comes down by itself. I didn't wire it. And that creates a very nice, interesting feature. On a tree, you want to leave some interesting features. I call it a vignette to catch people's eyes to say, oh, wow, that is cute. And so you want to save this branch to take advantage of the natural curve that accidentally occurred. And nature's saying, hey, I think this is neat, and I'll take advantage of it. I trust you. So you have to look beyond this sacrificial branch that looks kind of weird. But like I said, actually the apex will be this little guy, get to about this thickness, and this will become probably this thick and so forth to make it less abrupt. So I'm almost done with the tree. It's very quick. It's not so much how much time you spend wiring, but it's how much time, how many years the tree is to show the age and so forth. Okay, this tree is done. So today, what I've shown is that you can start with a hackberry tree like this and turn it into something like that. That's about a 3-year-old seedling, and this is about a 15-year-old seedling. That's what you do, and like I said, you can turn this tree to make a tree that eventually grow up like this and very thick. Again, hackberry is a very nice material for bonsai, although it's not very popular in the US. It grows very fast and ramifies really well. Someday the patch will be really full of leaves, and the leaf does reduce in size somewhat. And right now you can see this is a double trunk. This is really out of shape, but that's a sacrificial branch to thicken the top. And if you look at this angle, you can see the hackberry branches out very nicely. This is a nice little vignette, I call it. And this is another one. You can see it's a very picturesque the way it grows. I may cut it, reshape it again, but you can see in the meantime, it's always got some little character, and that's what makes a bonsai stand out, because it catches people's eyes and they say, oh wow, look at that. So this is again a sacrificial branch. I apologize for the weird look, but the tree will be about this high and everything to scale with a thick trunk with a shari here. It will be quite a nice bonsai. So I thank you very much for watching today. Please like if you think I'm informative. Tell a friend about our channel so that we can increase our bonsai heirloom community. Please subscribe to our channel, and see you next week.